This listing is losing money on every single sale. Great SEO, strong PPC, beautiful images, and the seller is still losing money. Why? Because the product was costing them $1.40 more than it should. $1.40. That single mistake destroyed the entire business model. And this isn't rare. This happens to thousands of sellers. Amazon, Shopify, Walmart, all of them. Most products don't fail because of ads or ranking. They fail before the product even ships. And here's the part no one talks about. Most sellers are overpaying, choosing the wrong factories, and sourcing from the wrong countries without even realizing it. So today I'm going to show you 6 sourcing strategies that big brands use quietly in the background to protect margin and outperform competitors, even while selling their exact same product. So this isn't an Alibaba hacks video, it's a sourcing masterclass, and by the end you will understand sourcing at the level serious US brands operates on. Let's start with the biggest advantage serious sellers use. They focus on landed cost, not unit price. Most sellers make their biggest sourcing mistakes in the very first email from the supplier. So when you look at a supplier quote, the first number you see is the unit price. And this is exactly where most businesses get trapped. Because the real question is not how cheap can I buy this unit for? The real question is what will this product cost me by the time it reaches my warehouse and is ready to sell? That number, the landed cost, decides your actual profit margin, not the unit price. Let me give you a simple example. A supplier can quote you $5, but by the time the product reaches your warehouse, it actually $6 and 40 cents. Packaging, cartons, freight, duty, FBA fees, prep fees, the real cost is always higher. And that extra $1.40 could be the difference between a profitable SKU and a dead product. So recently, one of the brands we supported was buying their products for $5.20 per unit from China. They thought it was a good deal. When we recalculated the true landed cost, including packaging, freight, duty, FBA fees, and all other fees, the cost per unit was actually $6 and 45 cents. Now here's where it becomes really interesting. We found a different country option, same quality with a higher unit price of $5 and 60 cents, but a better landed cost of $6 and 5 cents. So the unit price was higher, but the profit margin much better. And I can guess you might be thinking a 40 cents improvement per unit sounds very small. But for 10,000 units, that is $4,000 saved instantly before even launching. That difference alone is what allows you to do more aggressive PPC, competitive pricing, healthier margin, faster inventory turnovers. This is how smart sourcing works. So when you compare suppliers, never compare unit price. Compare everything. Once you calculate this number, something becomes clear. The cheapest supplier is almost never the most profitable. You don't win in marketing, you win in sourcing. And once you understand landed cost, you unlock the next advantage big brands use. Choosing the right country, not just the right supplier. China isn't always the cheapest. India isn't always handmade. Vietnam slightly beats both in categories most sellers never check. Your product's profitability is decided by the country long before the factory. Every country has different strengths, different labor cost, materials, and expertise. But most sellers don't think this way. They search on Alibaba and hope China is the best fit. Last year, a US brand we worked with was sourcing cotton apparel from China. Nothing wrong with China, but for cotton, it wasn't the most cost-effective or highest value. We moved their production to Bangladesh. And it's because Bangladesh provides better stitching quality, lower labor cost, more stable fabric, cheaper landed cost, consistent supply. So same product, better quality, better margin, better business. This is what happens when you choose the right country, not just the right factory. Now let me show you a simplified framework that big brands use quietly behind the scene. China, the mass market engine best for electronics, molded plastics, stainless steel, silicone, kitchen tool, toys. Why? Because of scale, speed, unbeatable supply chain depth. Vietnam, the premium textile powerhouse, best for apparel, footwear, outdoor gear, furniture, because they ensure high quality plus a strong factory specialization. India, the artisan and craft hub, best for leather, home decor, jewelry, woodcraft. because of their artisan skill plus customization value. Bangladesh, the global apparel leader, best for knitwear, woven shirts, large volume garments production, and they ensure exceptional textile cost plus massive export ecosystem. Turkey, fast premium manufacturing, fashion, ceramics, leather woods, and they have high craftsmanship plus fast European shipping. USA, compliance and speed, best for supplements, food products, regulated categories, and they have domestic compliance plus quick restock cycles. Now you see, every country is good, but not every country is good for your product. So now that you understand country selection, let me show you something even more powerful. Why serious seller buy at the wrong time, on purpose, and save thousands doing it. If you buy products when factories are busy, you are guaranteed to pay the highest price. The biggest brands do the exact opposite. Factories run on global demand cycles. When everyone rushes to order, prices rise, MQs rise, delays increase, and quality problems explode. But when demand drops, factories lower prices just to keep machines running. That's when serious sellers buy. And if I give you the examples of David, who sells summer full accessories, in his first year he sourced like every beginner in March during peak demand. Factories were overloaded, prices were high, production was slow. He barely got inventory before summer ended. The next year we changed one thing. He placed his order in November when factories were empty. And if you look at the result, unit price dropped, MOQ became flexible, production started immediately, he restocked earlier, and he saved over 7,000 on one order. Same factory, same production, just different timing. A completely different business outcome. The simplest tool for better pricing is this. Buy 6 months before the season. Let me break it down for you. Summer products, buy in winter. For example, full toys, outdoor gear, summer apparel, sports products. Winter products, buy in summer, like jackets, heaters, Christmas items, blankets. This way, factories will treat you like royalty during these months. Valentine's, buy in October. Mother's Day, buy in December and January. Back to school, buy in January and February. This is how big brands negotiate lower prices, faster production, and special terms that beginners never get. Factories care about one thing: keeping their production line running. When demand drops, they discount, they reduce MOQ, they assign their best workers, they prioritize you, they negotiate you openly, they give you better payment terms. This is not magic, it's manufacturing economics. Price is not just who you buy from, it's when you choose to buy. Now that you understand timing, let me show the next advantage CS seller use. Why the biggest factory is often the worst choice, and how a smaller factories can make you more money, more flexibility, and more speed. The best factory for your product is not the biggest one, it's the one where you actually matter. Most sellers choose supplier by clicking the biggest badge on Alibaba. Gold supplier, 20 years, top factory. It feels safe. But here's the truth. Big factories treat you like customer number 48,562. Small factories treat you like their only customer. And that difference changes everything. Just try to understand this. Big factories have massive clients, huge order, strict MQs, long lead times, rigid processes, zero flexibility. They won't stop a production line for a small seller. They won't prioritize your sample. They won't rush a reorder. They won't customize without fees. But small factories, completely different stories. Because small factories respond faster, negotiate more, accept lower MOQs, customize easily, start production immediately, fix issues quickly, and value your business. Because your order actually matters to them. If I tell you about Mike, who wanted to produce a silicone kitchen tool, he approached a well-known large factories. Price $3.20 per unit. MOQ 3000 units, production time 45 to 60 days. Then we found a smaller factory with about 12 employees. Price $2.75 unit, MOQ 800 units, production time 25 days. Custom packaging included for free. When the first batch sold out, the big factory said, "We can schedule your reorder in 6 weeks." And the small factory, "We can start tomorrow." That difference, speed plus flexibility plus attention, is worth more than any gold page on Alibaba. Big factories aren't bad, they are just built for massive brands. Small factories are built for growth. Now that you understand factory strategy, let's move to one of the biggest profit unlocks in sourcing, the adjacency product method. The low competition gold mine almost no one talks about. The richest sellers don't sell the trending product. They sell what people buy with the trending product. When a product gets popular, let's say yoga mats, air fryers, Stanley cups, everyone rushes to sell the main item. And that market becomes too crowded for anyone. But serious brands don't fight in crowded markets. They enter the ecosystem around the product, where competition is quiet and margins are higher. At the beginning of this year, we consulted with James who wanted to launch yoga mats. Huge demand, but the top 10 sellers had incredible number of reviews and competing with them is nearly impossible. So instead, we built for him products around the mat straps, knee support pads, mat cleaners, travel bags, resistant brands, sweat towels. So you see, same audience, same demand, but very low competition. Within 6 months, he eats consistent profit without ever touching the yoga mat market. That's the power of adjacency. People don't buy yoga mats alone. They don't buy air fryers alone. They don't buy coffee machine alone. And that's why every bestseller creates a gravity field of smaller products people must buy. This ecosystem is where the real profits live. So the best products for you to sell is not the bestseller, it's the product the bestseller make necessary. Now let's move from profit to protection, because even the best source products can destroy your business if you skip one step. Quality control. One bad shipment can destroy your listings, your reviews, and your brand in a single week. Most sellers treat quality control as optional. Serious brands treat it like insurance because defects don't just cost money, they cost trust. A single QC mistake can trigger negative reviews, repurchase spikes, ranking drops, suppressed listings, higher PPC cost, account scrutiny, and recovery from that takes months. We consulted a brand that skipped mid-production inspection to save time. They imported 3,000 euros. When the shipment arrived, 18% cosmetic defects, 6% functional failure, packaging inconsistencies, color variation. 40% of reviews in the first 2 weeks were negative. Amazon suppressed the listings, then lost more money fixing the disaster than the inspection could have cost. And I'm telling you, there is nothing more expensive than skipping quality control. So here I am going to show you a simple 3-step QC system. First, pre-production sample. Approve one perfect version. Your benchmark for quality, color, material, and finishing. Second, mid-production inspection. Catch problems early while the factory can still fix them. This is where big brands prevent disaster even before that happens. Third, pre-shipment inspection. Ensure the order matches the approved sample. Random units check for function, durability, packaging, label accuracy, barcode scannability, weight, measurements. Only release the final payment after this. You don't need to overcomplicate this. These 3 checkpoints eliminate 80 to 90% of QC disasters. Now, who should do QC? Use a professional inspection agency like SGS, Kima, Intertech, Bureau Veritas, or your sourcing agent if you trust them. This builds authority. A proper QC gives you fewer returns, stronger reviews, better ranking stability, lower risk, consistent quality, long-term customer trust. Sourcing finds your profit. Quality control protects it. Now let's zoom out, because sourcing isn't random, it has levels, and the brands that scale understand exactly which level they are playing at. There are only 3 types of businesses in sourcing, and the level you choose decides whether you stay small or scale. Every seller moves through these levels. Most stay stuck at level 1. The brands that dominate always reach level 3. Level 1, price-based sourcing. This is where 90% of sellers start. They search Alibaba, click features, and choose the cheapest quote, which means lowest unit price, no QC structure, no country strategy, high MBQs, unpredictable quality, short-term thinking. This label creates low margins, high risk, and zero scalability. Level 2, value-based sourcing. Serious sellers operate here. They focus on country-first decision, better landed cost, consistent QC, flexible factories, stronger packaging, predictable lead time, better negotiation leverage. This level builds stable margins and a real business, not just a listing. Most successful 6 to 7 figure brands live in Level 2. Level 3, partnership based sourcing. This is where big brands win. At level 3, you are no longer ordering product. You are building a supply chain advantage. So what level 3 brands do? They co-develop products, build custom molds and tooling, negotiate exclusive variations, receive priority production, get early access to new materials, secure better payment terms, get consistent long-term pricing, integrate their supplier into pricing strategy. Your manufacturer becomes part of your value chain, not just a vendor. Level 1 makes sales. Level 2 builds a business. Level 3 creates brand. Now you know exactly how serious brands source, grow, and scale. So the real question is, which level are you going to operate at next? You now understand sourcing the way most sellers never will. But knowledge alone doesn't change a business. Action does. So here's the part that actually matters. Pick one sourcing strategy, fix it, and your entire business shifts. So here's the 6 sourcing levers. Fix your landed cost, choose right country, change your timing, switch to a better suited factory, use the adjacency method, protect your profit with QC. You don't need a bigger budget. You don't need more tools. You don't need luck. You just need better sourcing decision consistently. Let me know in the comment which sourcing lever are you fixing next. I'll go through them personally and guide you based on your product. Remember, your product doesn't fail at the end. It fails at the beginning. Fix the beginning and everything else becomes easier.